at Lowetide, at Declan Krueger, at jfenwick04, at Donovan Paulson, and maybe at Leon P7 and Brendan Clack. I'm not sure. You can text or call us anytime, 833-401-1440. That's 833-401-1440. We're going to talk about a wild football weekend. Elks, Rough Riders, Ticats, Belichick, McDavid signing when, and other stories coming out of Edmonton Oilers. Well, not even the preseason or not even training camp, but they're back and they're skating, and that means stories will develop over the next little while. We'll pick our own favorites for training camp stories as the year rolls along. Okay, we have guests. We have Jason Gregor coming up at 1:20 today, at Declanations at 1:40, and a lot of content because this is our roundtable edition, and I have three introduction. We begin with the big guy. He took some of last week off work so he could manscape a brand new look for his YouTube debut and cheer on his Rough Riders. He once mistook Peter Gabriel's Sledgehammer for a Billy Joel song, but we love him anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
Thank you. How do we feel? First of all, good to be back.
Yes.
Did you miss me?
No. Oh, yes, we did. I'm sorry.
Did you? You didn't say no just now, did you?
No,
okay.
We actually did. I on Friday, I think we spent at least 11 seconds talking about you.
Hey, that's more than I expected.
No. I had a weapon pointed at me. I was forced to say that I did miss you. So, yeah.
Second question: how do we feel about the glasses here for the YouTube debut?
What, do you have new glasses?
So, okay, where the hell have you been?
I didn't look.
Take a look.
Well, you look a little Hollywood, which I'm not surprised by.
I'm going for a Johnny Drama kind of thing.
What's that movie, To Live and Die in L.A.? I think that's what you look like.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. Next introduction goes like this. He puts the content in contentious. He's vexing and perplexing, but this show is miles better with him than without him. Ladies and gentlemen, Donovan Paulson. Donovan Paulson, everybody.
Thank you. I mean, listen, the wordsmith is in full effect there, hey?
These are becoming less and less rude and outrageous, which I'm not happy about, but these are the intros.
It's nice to not, be told that I'm going to be in jail in the next 5 years. It's nice.
All I ever said was the station's lawyers call you billable hours just listening to you. All right. He loves movies and is a little sensitive about a mild criticism of Brad Pitt, but he got a job at 1440 and will one day be a media mogul. So we're going to be nice to Josh Fenwick, everybody. Josh Fenwick. Now, does everybody have their own camera?
No.
Oh,
you have your own camera, obviously.
Right.
And then basically like the camera that's on me versus a guest in studio, in this case, Donovan, that one rotates.
Okay.
And Josh has no camera, no mic. So it's just me on the Gregor show.
Wow,
what he's doing over there.
All right.
You get a little used to it. You're kind of sitting back in the corners, not really talking.
This is inside radio and it shouldn't be, but anybody meet Sam? He's 25 pounds and 80% of him is hair. He's our new intern.
I'm looking at him and listen, if I could say there's not a lot of meat on those bones, and Kevin makes fun of me and my legs for being the 150-yard marker on a golf course.
Yes.
I think his whole body is the 150-yard marker.
I swear to you, all I see is hair. It's like Trevor Lawrence is working in radio.
It's like a much skinnier Trevor Lawrence with braces.
There you go.
It's freaky how much he looks like Trevor Lawrence.
I don't know. It's just the hair.
Maybe that's going to do him well in the future.
Yeah. I think it's a style. I think this is a choice he made.
I would deduce that this is a choice.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go around the room. We're going to start with you, Declan. Biggest story for you, because this was the September long. There's all kinds of sports going on. I want your biggest sports story for you personally this weekend.
Well, the biggest story for me right now is actually how poor this mouse is. I'm going to hold it up to the camera, and no one's going to understand that. That's just kind of a personal thing back here.
Was that the question?
This is the worst mouse I've ever had to deal with, and it's making the start to the new era of being on YouTube pretty tough. Now, as far as sports stories go this weekend, there's a bunch. The biggest one, I think, right here in our city probably has to be the Elks losing the Labor Day in kind of dominant fashion. I mean, there was no touchdown. Dedrick Mills was able to run all over them defensively. Cody's touch looked off. For me personally, I mean, what a weekend in college football. Texas, they lose to Ohio State as the #1 team in the country. LSU goes into Clemson. Clemson, the number 4 team in the country. They beat them. Alabama gets killed. We'll talk about that on Declan CAA tomorrow. So big weekend in sports, US Open rolling on, but I think the number one story right now in our city is this Elks team, just when we thought they were on the verge of being back, have they been frauds all along?
Interesting. Okay. What's your number one story, Donovan?
Well, I think the number one story still has to be the Micah Parsons trade. I think it still has to be. Like
it's a monster.
As much as I'm looking at the Elks and thinking I think we can safely say they're not legit. I think the Micah Parsons trade has to be the big story. It was just, I mean, you look at the sports world still talking about it. And now we're talking about the fact that he has to get an injection because he's hurt. The Elks, tough weekend, really tough for those people who went down on those buses for that Labor Day Classic. Like I feel bad for people having to drive 3 hours for
6 hours.
Total. Well, 6 hours combined for that.
They were probably on a bus and they were probably having a wobbly or two.
I would have hoped so because I mean that product on the field was terrible. They were awful.
Well, look, the defense played not bad. The offensive line was poor, and I didn't think Fajardo did a lot, even though he was under pressure. I thought he could have done more. And their play calling was weird. They kept doing things like going deep twice, the old Dieter Ralph Brock move. And you're never like in the CFL. I know it's only 2 plays, and then you've got to kick if you don't get 10. But you can't just throw a bomb all the time.
But Calgary doesn't give up touchdowns, and I thought that was particularly weird, was throwing the deep ball all game pretty much. Yeah. They made some questionable choices for sure, but I look back to once that game got up to 20 for Calgary, it was obviously it was curtains. It was over. Yeah. The game, like they felt close. They felt like they were in it for the majority of that game, but like it wasn't good enough. They're not in sync. The O-line clearly isn't good enough. As much as going into the year, we thought, this O-line will stand the test of time. They were great going down the stretch. Last year, they weren't good enough, and Calgary brought the pressure all night. As much as Cody Fajardo probably could have been a little bit better in that game, when you're constantly under pressure as a quarterback, it's going to be tough.
My number one story, the Elks were a massive story. That's basically my number one story, but young Donovan took that. So I'm going to talk about, and I want everybody.
Micah Parsons.
I did. I said Micah Parsons.
But I was talking about the Elks. He said Micah Parsons, but then you talked about the Elks nonstop. So my number one story is Bill Belichick. Did anybody see the game? This is the best coach in NFL history, and he looked like out of touch. People were talking to him during the game. It seemed to me like Bill Belichick should probably leave now, let his son coach the team, and move on.
I kind of have a take on Bill Belichick that I wouldn't mind floating to you, gentlemen, if we have a second here.
We sure do.
Now, I do think he's the best coach in NFL history.
I agree.
Without Tom Brady, 84 and 103. Without Tom Brady, 10 seasons as head coach, only 2 with a winning record, 3 playoff appearances, 1 playoff win. Like, that's a pretty large sample size, and those are pretty poor numbers. Now he comes to UNC and gets dog walked by Josh Hoover and the Horned Frogs. And listen, we don't know what TCU is. Like, maybe TCU ends up being sick, but nothing outside of the Tom, and I do think he's the best coach in NFL history, but nothing outside of the Tom Brady era has really inspired a lot of confidence.
But for me, this is a guy who has he committed to this program? Because there was talk about that, and then this team wasn't ready, and his depth chart looked weird. I think he's got the job on reputation. Obviously, he wants his son to take over. But if I'm any member of the NFL at any level, this is embarrassing for the coach to look this bad. Like, doesn't reflect well on the NFL. I don't think.
Also, really bad choice for me by Bill Belichick. Like, this is going to be going down as he's going to be eating clown for the rest of his career, for the rest of his life. I don't know.
I don't know about that,
but I don't know if did you see all the memes last night?
Yeah, I mean, like,
oh my God, he was just getting fried.
But this is
I
what
get
happens.
that, but it's not going to erase 8 Super Bowls total, actually, because he has 2 as a DC.
But
Like-
this is all of that is the reputation he had, and now he's getting this reputation. It looks foolish, and I think it's regrettable. And I think somebody, I don't know who, could step in, but Bill Belichick is a legendary name today. By the end of this college season, he might be represented by a completely different reputation.
Don't you guys think the narrative would more be he was just too washed and over the hill and he shouldn't have done this, rather than it would truly detract from his legacy?
I think that in the world that he lived in the 90s and aughts, yes, but in the world of social media and memes and all of those things, he took a hellacious beating on the weekend. And I mean, what's going to happen in week 2?
I just feel like this is going to be everybody thinking this is the Tom Brady show, right? With Bill. I think this is going to detract massively from his legacy and what he built in New England.
Because he's coaching a not even a football school, like football program.
But that doesn't matter, right? It's all about the choice. He could have gone to coach the Atlanta Falcons. The offer was on the table.
Plus, there's cameras. There's activity. The team was garbage. All of those things reflect on Bill Belichick.
But I don't think anyone's going to be like, okay, those 6 Super Bowls are invalid just because you weren't a good coach at UNC. And by the way, we don't even know. Like, maybe they go 11-1 this season. TCU just goes 12-0.
He will get credit for that. But it's before this weekend, there was talk of him, well, Bill's kind of out of it or whatever, but now it's bad. And I think this is a big story starting today, and we'll see what rolls out here. But I mean, do we think he's going to make the season?
I think he'll make the season, but it might be tough after that. My favorite story from last night's whole media charade was the quarterback, the backup that went in is the same age as Bill's girlfriend. That was the best story of last night for me.
And I mean, there's lots of ways we can go with this, but we won't go there. Now, really quickly, I want to talk about this. Over the last few days, while you were gone, Declan, and then when you were not, I guess Friday, when there was talk of it, Connor McDavid spoke last week, and then John Shannon, followed by Ryan Rishaug, talked about maybe not signing the contract before the start of the year. And then Mark Spector was on Friday, and then on Monday today with Kevin Karius. Everybody thinks he's going to sign, but there's at least some specter of an idea that he might not sign before the season. On a scale of 1 to whatever, how concerned are you, Donovan?
I'm still like a 1.
Declan?
That he won't sign?
No, that he won't sign before the start of the season.
Oh, I guess I'd go 2. Maybe just a notch above 1, but I think he's going to sign before the season.
And if he doesn't sign before the season, there's no need to worry, even though it's his walk year. And if he doesn't sign, he could Marner the Oilers.
No, he wouldn't do that.
No, but I understand that. But I'm asking your concern. So if it's 0, that's fine.
I'll say 1.
Yeah, I'm 1. I'm right in the same vein as Declan. Like, this is a situation where I'm so not worried. I think there's no chance that happens. It's just
he seems so entrenched as the leader of this team with Leon on a honeymoon together. His wife has businesses in the area. It just seems so impossible.
It seems impossible, right? Like, he's so stapled into this community. His wife is so stapled into this community. And I also look back to some people are going to dig into the quotes probably more than they should, but I'll just look back to the quotes of, my intention is to win in Edmonton, and I don't want this to create a distraction.
Well, it's a distraction.
It is for right now.
I would say this also. If it's a 4-year contract, which I think we all expect it to be, or 4 or 5 years, I think that's the last hurrah to put something together. I think if they don't win in that time period, which would, let's say he signs a 4-year extension, then he's got 5 years left. If they don't win then I think he's gone.
I think that it could come sooner than that, because at this point, if he plays 3 years here and they go the wrong way, let's say they never play another final game in the next 3 years with Connor McDavid here, I think he could ask out and they'd trade him. Does anybody disagree with that?
I don't. I just think the only reason I'd be hesitant on trading him, and I get the conventional wisdom is if he's going to walk for nothing, you trade him so you can get something back, and boy, can you get a hell of a lot for Connor McDavid. But the reason I'm hesitant on it is because while he's on the team, you will always be a championship contender, or should always be a championship contender. So even if he says, I'm going to walk, I say, if I'm the GM, if I'm the owner, I say, okay, we're going to play out the season. We're going to try and win a cup with you here because we're always going to be in that window while you're here. Hope they win, and then keep him on that basis.
And that may be part of what the conversation is. McDavid might want to, because, Sidney Crosby is in a position right now where he's playing on a team that can't win the Stanley Cup, and a team could use him to win a Stanley Cup.
It's true, but he's won 3.
Right. But if you're Connor McDavid, you're probably worried about winning one and wondering if you can do it in Edmonton.
Yes.
It's going to be an interesting conversation to have. All right. We have Jason Gregor coming up at 1:20 today. Declanations, what's our subject, to MMA, or do we talk football?
Well, no, I think, Tuesday today. I don't actually know. Have you talked to Jason? Because I didn't reach out to Jason. I don't know if he is with us today. I can double check, make sure he's on. But I hadn't done that. Today, hi, my name is. And please email me it in. It's our first day on YouTube. It's a little hectic back here. So email me in your hi, my name is clues.
How many people have taken holidays during August who work at this radio station? Show of hands, please.
Yep.
Yeah, I have.
Gregor as well. Carius takes a holiday every 3 weeks.
I mean, he's never here.
He doesn't work here anymore.
So Gregor's not here today?
Well, no, he is, but it's Tuesday. He's a Monday guest.
But he would be here, on the Tuesday following the Monday. We always do that.
All right, I'll send him a text.
All right. Okay. On the way, it's rumors, and we'll probably have a rumor about Jason Gregor being a guest by then. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for. Call Mr. Rooter.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expos Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
It's the Brick's famous tent sale. Save up to 60% off clearance items in the tent and store, with more amazing deals arriving daily in every department. Like up to $1,800 off power reclining sectionals and up to $700 off big screen TVs. Buy more, save more when you buy 2 or more major appliances, up to $1,000 off. Plus, get a free Bluetooth party speaker when you spend $9.99 or more on furniture. Some exclusions apply. See in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
Ugh, seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit GreatCanadianSolar.com and call today to get started.
The biggest game of the season, your Edmonton Elks Labor Day rematch with the Calgary Stampeders on Saturday, September 6th. It's the next gen game presented by National Bank. Kids get in free with a paid adult P5 ticket, and tickets start at just $20. Score yours at GoElks.com.
I'm a little hungry.
I've got booster balls from Booster Juice.
Booster what now?
Booster balls. They're little protein bites packed with nutrients. Chewy, crunchy, yummy, and new flavors all the time. Like this little guy, the new mint chocolate booster ball, peppermint cocoa, coconut, peanut butter, maple syrup, all rolled up into a delightful little bite-sized snack.
Why am I just hearing about this now?
I don't know.
Can I have one?
No.
Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999. Reduce fine lines and wrinkles while strengthening your hair with BioSil. It's a clinically proven, Ishura-tested product that helps in the formation of collagen. Find BioSil now at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
Breaking down the fine art of sports, one rep at a time. The Lowdown with Lowetide. Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown at 12:21 on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. And it's time for Rumors, presented by Great Canadian Solar. Great Canadian Solar has been helping homeowners and businesses harness the power of the sun for 15 years. Invest in solar and yourself. GreatCanadianSolar.com. All right, there are a few things to talk about. And, there's several sports to talk about. Let's begin with the Jays. Last week, the Jays bullpen sucked. This weekend, the Jays bullpen sucked. So I'm going to go to Donovan with this. I'm looking at the bullpen, and I'm not confident in Hoffman. I'm not confident in Little. Tom Hankey's not coming out of the bullpen.
No.
So what say you there, baseball man? Where are they going to go?
Man, it's the wrong time for your bullpen to start imploding. It's I was actually fairly confident in this Blue Jays bullpen for the vast majority of this season, but they are imploding at the exact wrong time.
It's awful.
I'm scared for pretty much anybody to go in at this point. Even the guy who is Mr. Reliable out of this bullpen, the 3-year vet at 34 years of age, Tommy Nance, even he's imploded last game off there. I'm scared with their bullpen for pretty much everybody going in at this point. And if you name it, they've imploded recently. Brendan Little, Louis Varland, Jeff Hoffman,
all of them,
Tommy Nance, literally everybody and their mom has imploded on this Blue Jays team.
And all baseball people, they'll always say, you got a 4-game lead going into September. You're like, okay, they should be fine, but should be fine covers a lot of traction. And the Bo Sox and the Yankees are coming. And the Yankees have gotten themselves straightened out a little bit. Boston got, Roman Anthony looks like all world right now. Their pitching looks fine. Crochet is an absolute stud. So I think they're 2.5 up. Is that correct? And I'm a little worried for Jays. I don't care, but I'm a little worried for Jays fans who do care about this team because there's two teams there are two clubs on their ass, and I think the Royals are the last team out, right? So if they go on a bit of a losing streak here because of their bullpen, they could be in September is not October. You got to win some games.
No, they have to win games. They are the Red Sox and the Yankees are both kind of firmly up their trumpet a little bit. They are coming for them, and they are they're in danger of falling into that wild card mix. And if they fall into that wild card mix, the way that their bullpen is going right now,
yes,
they could genuinely be in trouble and they might be a first round exit. If they need to secure first in this division and they need to keep ahead of, the teams trailing them, whether that's the Astros, whether that's the Tigers, you want to get that bye out of this wild card and kind of get some things sorted out, get a couple guys some breaks because simply put, this bullpen looks like it needs a rest and a reset.
Right.
And the only way you're going to get that reset is if you still secure first in this division and you secure that, wild card bye.
Are you more concerned about the Red Sox or the Yankees?
If I'm looking at this from a perspective of who's more likely to catch them, I think it'll be the Yankees.
Right.
If I was looking at this as a perspective of who do I think is more likely to beat them if they face them,
right,
it's the Red Sox.
Okay.
The Jays have dummied the Yankees this year for fun.
Yeah,
they've dummied them.
Yeah.
So I'm not too worried about the way that the Jays match up against the Yankees. It's more about the Red Sox for me because I think the Red Sox present some interesting challenges that the Jays can't necessarily handle. I look at the Jays versus Max Fried this year. It's been a cakewalk for them pretty much.
Right.
Versus the Jays against, they did handle Garrett Crochet when they've seen him, but I'm a lot more worried about Crochet than I am about Fried. And then I look at a couple other things like Aroldis Chapman out of the back end of that bullpen. And I'm terrified if I'm a Jays fan.
He's 110 years old, and this might be the best he's pitching.
This is the best season of his career.
Incredible.
And he is nearly 1 million years old.
Bichette sign in Toronto, or is he going to go to the coast?
Man, I think they're going to extend him.
Yeah, I think it's the thing to do.
The question is how long though.
Right. Our friend Declan is dealing with major problems, but I want to ask him a question. Are you available for a question, Declan? Oh. With the big news.
Wait, actually, hold on. Oh, I don't have my glasses. I guess I'm still ready.
Oh.
No poker stars.
Meant to throw those back on, but that's okay.
With the big news out of Green Bay getting Parsons, I assume Detroit's the class of the division. Did that close the gap a lot, a little, or none at all?
I'm not as confident in Detroit without their coordinators. I still think they are the class of the division, but I don't think it's like a clear-cut runaway the way some people might think it is. I don't know I think the Packers are definitely going to be better. They got the best, for my money, honestly, they got the best defensive player in football. And I know there are some great edge rushers. Nick Bosa went healthy. Trey Hendrickson last year. TJ Watt, Myles Garrett. I know there's some great players at the division, but they're in the league, excuse me. But they got a guy who is such a game wrecker when he's on. I think I probably had Green Bay second anyway, just because I'm really not sure about JJ McCarthy. The Bears they're going to bear it up, right? It's kind of like Penn State. They're going to bear it up. I probably had Green Bay second anyway, but I would say now I have them confidently as a playoff team, where I thought maybe it was actually a little bit more borderline before.
We're going to have Jason Gregor in here at 1:20, I hope, because he wrote an article today. I'd like to talk to him about Connor McDavid's contract. That is a big deal. I want to talk about it. But I also want to just discuss very quickly. We got a text in here, and I thought we'd go around the room because I think it is noteworthy, and there's some good points here from Nails. I think shorter term, top end 3 years at $7.3 million, $500,000 for bonus each year, depending on success. Now, I wonder about if Connor McDavid signs 3 years at, let's say, whatever, would you say 17 million? Does that get you? Are you comfortable with that? A, and B, does that send confidence to the team, the organization, and the fan base, or does it have to be 4 or 5?
Well, first and foremost, on the bonuses thing, you can't give McDavid bonus.
I think I read this as it was a McDavid thing. Might not have been. But the point is this: is 3 years enough, or does it need to be 4? Or what if it's 2? Does that send people into a state of panic?
Any deal that Connor McDavid signs, I think you have to look at as an absolute win. You're keeping the best player in the world in Edmonton. You're getting him for, even if it's 2 years, hell, even if it's 1 year, it's a win. You get him for another year or 2 or 3 or 4. And if you have him for a 4-year deal, that's the what I think we all still think it's the case. You get 5 more chances at that Stanley Cup with Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, and co. If it's only 3 years, I don't think it's going to start with a 17. That's just me. I think Connor McDavid, he's going to take the highest deal in the league. But once again, I look at it as, does Connor McDavid truly want to win? If he does, he is not going to take, he's not going to take the sun, the moon, the stars, and, an extra human being. He's going to take 16 something. Because he could take up to 19 million.
Yeah, and he did that last year, right?
He did.
A discount. And not everybody has. I'm not going to name names, but not every player in Edmonton has taken a discount to sign here. And it's unusual. I guess he's the captain, but it's unusual that people are talking about it like it has to happen. That's sort of the situation. Even with the cap going up, I think there's a sense the Oilers are maybe a player behind Florida, right? Because Florida has
probably.
Zito has been more efficient, and the tax laws are helpful, whatever you want to say. Maybe you disagree or reject those things, but Florida has more scoring depth. I think we can all agree with that.
For sure. Yeah.
And I said this during the final last year. I don't think Florida's defense is to be feared, but they do have depth up front, and they do have a hell of a goaltender.
Their defense last year gave up the most odd man rushes. They gave up the most rush chances against in the playoffs. Granted, they did go the deepest and all that, but even going into the third round, they weren't that good of a rush defense. They were giving up odd man rushes. They were giving up a ton off the rush. The Oilers just couldn't capitalize. I'm not too worried about the Panthers defense, especially a guy like Aaron Ekblad as he continues to age. I think Aaron Ekblad's going to age like milk, just the way he plays the game, the amount of injuries he's already had in his career. I'm not too worried about their defense. It's just the consistent scoring punch. You looked at that Brad Marchand line, and I get that was probably unsustainable how much he scored in the playoffs.
Right.
But man, like to have Brad Marchand on your third line, it's crazy. The Oilers, the big question for me and what's going to ride or die on this season is going to be, can the Oilers get something out of one of those two young guys in Matt Savoy or Ike Howard? And I know that's unfair to expect it.
No, but it's needed.
It's needed.
Yeah,
you need some scoring from one of those two guys, because if they don't do it, like this team might be in trouble if they want to win this year.
Even if you get it from Savoy and Tomasek, and Howard has to spend some time in Bakersfield, but they need that. They need outside scoring that wasn't here a year ago.
They do.
Yeah.
But for what it's worth, like I still think that these are the two best teams in the league, and I think it's abundantly clear, because I don't think Dallas, like they're still, for me, they're the softest team in the league.
Now that brings us to what JP says. One word, LT, goalie. Now, we've talked about this all summer when you guys have been out partying at Sylvan Lake or Wabamun or, going to Peter's Drive-In and having a good time. We've been here. We've been slogging. And we've been talking about, hey, what do the Oilers do in goal? And the answers are not attractive and certainly not a massive upgrade over Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. Maybe at the deadline you can find somebody. Maybe you'll find money for Jeremy Swayman. But when I look at this team right now, I'll start with you, Donovan, and I'll get your input, Declan. Who do you like out there who's a goalie who could come in here and upgrade on Skinner and Pickard?
I've said it since the beginning of the summer. I don't see a goaltending option / upgrade out there. And I've always been of the mind of, if you're upgrading on Cal Pickard, what's the point? Is that really going to increase your odds to win the Stanley Cup? I don't think so. Maybe by 0.0001%. And listen, could you PTO James Reimer? Yeah, you could PTO a guy like James Reimer. You could give a PTO to some of the other guys out there, because maybe they give you something by some grace of God miracle. But I don't see the goaltending out there. I think it's going to be a next summer thing. I know they might go out and trade for somebody at the deadline, but honestly, with who's out there, I think it'd probably be a mistake. I think you'd get into that Jack Campbell territory of trading for a guy who's really not that good, who's going to give you way too much in terms of hamming up your salary cap. I don't like the goaltending options available unless you go out and get, even if Jeremy Swayman was terrible last year, I would like to go get him if possible, but I don't even see that as an option.
Declan, do you have a name for us? Goaltender who can come in and save the day for the Edmonton Oilers?
Yeah, I mean, no. I want there to be one, because me, I'm not the biggest Stuart Skinner guy in the world, although I do like him. But I don't think there's a name out there. I didn't think there was a name out there in the free agent market. The one name I really liked that I wanted to look at was John Gibson. He obviously got moved. So no, probably not right now. It's going to have to be a trade deadline acquisition unless Stuart Skinner lights the world on fire. Now, that said, I do think come the trade deadline, they will probably pay a premium more than they would have had to pay this past offseason in free agency for somebody to make it happen, because I think they realize they have to go all in. Now, if he is playing well, they just stick with him, hope things work out in the playoffs, and if it doesn't, reset come next offseason. But that's the direction I think the team will go.
Chris Johnston from on First Up says Connor McDavid extension. When he talks about wanting to win in Edmonton, I fully believe that is the case. The chance to win again and again is what matters to him. I think there might be a little bit of trepidation there in terms of winning again and again. And that brings us to what I had talked about earlier, and the idea that he signs a 3 or 4 year deal. But if you get down the line what happens when you've made the Stanley Cup final twice and then you haven't won, and then you get, say, to the semifinal and lose next year, there's the worry about regression. And that you can say, oh, Lowetide, you're just making no sense. But that does happen in sports where somebody gets hurt. We're convinced Hyman's going to come back and pot 40 or whatever, or 30, but maybe he won't. Maybe that's a season-long issue. So McDavid has the opportunity to ponder and to think about it right now before he signs a contract. So I understand the hesitancy of it. My question is, go back to you, Donovan, what sort of assurance could Stan Bowman make now beyond trust me?
Well, the assurance is called Leon Draisaitl, and he has an 8-year contract. That's the assurance. That is we still have Leon Draisaitl. Listen, will Zach Hyman maybe fall off this season? Will Zach Hyman maybe fall off in the next couple of years? I would be stunned if he didn't fall off at some point in the next couple of years. That's just how the aging curve works. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, the exact same thing. But you brought in the new wave of Matt Savoy and you brought in Ike Howard. And those are two former first-round picks. Those are two guys who are coming in as, we'll call them top 50 NHL prospects, because that's where roughly about where the consensus is somewhere in the low 40s to the kind of mid 50s is where they're ranked by consensus NHL prospect guys. So I look at the Oilers and I would say to Connor McDavid, if I was Stan Bowman, listen, your key foundational pieces are here. You have the ability next season. There's a lot of contracts up, whether it's Matthias Ekholm, whether it's Jake Wallman, whether it's even on the lower level like a Vasily Podkolzin. You can almost reshape what you want next offseason. As long as you're here, we will have free agents wanting to come here. And you can reshape the defense. You can reshape lots of parts of your forward core. They have a lot of money next year. A lot of money available and freed up. Listen, will they extend Jake Wallman? I firmly believe they will. But they have a lot of possibility in the ways that they can go forward with not just next season, but just multiple seasons afterwards with who's coming off the books.
EG says Connor Ingram, Nico Dawes, DiPietro, Soderblom. They're all interesting, but they're not clear upgrades. You're not looking at somebody who can say, okay, now we can go to war with this. And that's the problem.
If I was looking at any of those guys, I might just PTO James Reimer.
I've always felt Reimer belonged here,
Former Toronto Maple Leaf.
I'm surprised Aikens didn't get him. All right. On the way, we'll take a break. Don't forget, we've got Jason. We hope to have Jason Gregor coming up at 1:20, 1:40 today. We have Hi, My Name Is. And up next, whatever you want, we're going to open up the phone lines. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Listen up, because you're not going to want to miss this. Right now is your chance to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Reduce fine lines and wrinkles while strengthening your hair with BioSil. It's a clinically proven, Ishura-tested product that helps in the formation of collagen. Find BioSil now at Vitality Health Foods, where customer appreciation is the first Tuesday and Wednesday of every month.
The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. The all-new redesigned 2026 XC90 is here. Test drive the ultimate evolution in luxury. Lease or finance a 2025 XC60 from 0.49% and save $5,000. Finance or lease a 2026 XC40 from 2.99%. Come and discover the deals now at Volvo Cars Edmonton. Great vehicles, better service. The Midsummer Sales Event is on now at VolvoCarsEdmonton.com.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is your #1 air conditioning company. So when you can't take living in oppressive heat any longer,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If your hot, sticky sheets keep you up all night,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
If you've decided that you deserve to be cool and comfortable,
call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And with no payments, no interest for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank, plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products, 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Mr. Rooter goes for a fall stroll.
Ah, the beauty of fall. These leaves are crunchier than that calcified shower head I replaced this morning. And the earthy yellow oranges and browns are as colorful as the wad of hair I pulled out of the shower drain.
Ugh, Mr. Rooter, can we talk about something else?
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you didn't like fall. You look about as sour as the sewer line I unclogged yesterday.
For a plumber you'll truly fall for, call Mr. Rooter.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit Sports Encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup of 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. Twang Tuesday. I'm wearing my New Order t-shirt. It was in honor of our first day here on YouTube, but it's a great record. This album came out like 40 years ago. Power, Corruptions, and Lies. Blue Monday. Fantastic record. Go buy it at your latest different record shop. What do you call it? What do you buy? You get Spotify now? Is where you get your records?
Spotify, Apple Music. That's all your online streaming
If
stuff.
I wanted to buy a vinyl version of this record, where would I go?
You can buy them at London Drugs. There is Sunrise Records, I believe, is the name of the store. That's the mainly like records.
That's the one just off White?
No, that is Blackbird, something like that.
Okay, all right. That one I've been to. I haven't been to Sunrise.
Yeah, well, Sunrise is here in the mall.
Okay. I have been to that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, over by where the Bay used to be.
I tried to buy a turntable there.
Yeah.
No.
I'm sure that went well. Based on the whole pride.
I said, can I get a dual turntable with a stylus from 1978? And they said no. So
rude.
Yeah, well, I mean, they only have the product they can sell. Ladies, I think it's obvious and almost only choice is Sorokin. The Isles are in complete rebuild mode and don't require a top 5 goaler. That's from Hacksaw.
Are they in complete rebuild mode?
Well, I mean, they did trade their big defenseman to Montreal, but that doesn't mean they could be reloading for all we know.
They still have Matt Barzal. They still have Bo Horvat. They still have Pellick. They still have Pulak. They still have Sorokin. That they have on an extension, Kyle Palmieri. I wouldn't call that rebuild.
No, and also, if they decided to trade Sorokin, they would get good young players and high picks. The Oilers don't have those. Well, they have Savoy and they have Howard, but they're trying to build them into the roster that they have now.
Yeah, for all the Ilya Sorokin, that thing is a pipe dream to me. As much as I would love that pipe dream,
no,
I don't see it. I don't. Maybe the Isles might decide to trade him, but if someone's going to acquire him, man, do the Oilers even have could they even sniff the asking price?
I don't think they could.
They could give up the first round picks for sure.
There's too many no movement clauses for them to trade anybody.
And they would want quality young players. And the Oilers aren't going to trade Ike Howard. They just recently acquired him.
Yeah.
And
Savoy's in the lineup.
In the lineup. I don't know what the Oilers are going to do in terms of really who they could acquire, but you'd have to be basically just first round picks.
Yeah. Samuel Johnson needs to save the day a year from now. Big Durr says there are no guarantees. What happens if McDavid goes to another team and they lose in the second round from Deber? I totally understand what you're saying, but look at it from Connor McDavid's point of view. And I think it's important to do that. This is a guy who spent a decade trying to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton, and it's not happened yet. And you can blame whomever you want. You can get mad at Peter Chiarelli, Ken Holland, or whatever, but McDavid has played at a high level and done his best. Now, he's not a perfect hockey player, but he's damn close, and he's a brilliant player, best on the planet. So this is his one time, because you say, well, he can decide next year. No, he can't. This isn't, the Oilers can't have him decide next year. They need to put whatever pressure they can have on a young multi-millionaire. They need to bring it now. They need to say, Connor, we need to know. We respect you. We love you. We want you to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton, but we have to have assurance that you're going to sign something, at least 2 years, whatever, at some point in time. We can't lose this asset for $0 and get marnered as the Toronto Maple Leafs did. So even though what you said is very true, Connor McDavid has the right to at least think about where he'd like to spend the next decade. I think he'd play the next 10 years. He skates so well. What I don't know is how long he'll have this brilliant offense and these tremendous hands. Nobody knows the answer to that. Dave Keon, he played forever because he could skate really, really well. If McDavid wants to change his style at some point in time when he's 38 or 39, he could probably last in the league till God knows how long. I mean, he can skate that well. But this isn't about that. This is about now. The Isles will want Bouchard 1-for-1 for Sorokin. Well, they just signed Bouchard. Was it a 4-year deal?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's part of the future. I get it. I understand. And I think that's a fair price, but I don't think it's going to happen.
You want to take some comments off of YouTube?
Sure.
John, with the whole Sorokin thing, where is the cap money coming from?
Well, that's it. Everybody's signed, sealed, delivered.
Everybody's got a no move clause.
Yeah.
And the only option there is really, I guess, Evan Bouchard.
Yeah.
And another comment off of also from John. McDavid's going to be going from 12.5 to 17 million. That's basically Ekholm minus a mil. How are they going to have a lot of money? Well, John, the Oilers cap projections without Connor McDavid currently on an extension is 45 million.
They'll have a lot of money. They just won't have anybody to spend it on.
They will have a lot of money. It's so with McDavid's extension, they'll be down to about 38 million projected ish. Not 38, sorry. About 28 million ish and change without
right.
With Jake Wallman's extension, about what, 21 million you'd say. And then you got 21 million bucks in cap space. You can do a lot with that.
I don't mean to poke the bear, but is everything okay over there, Declan? Yeah.
It needs to get done.
Yeah. Just seem a little quiet today. Everything going okay? Because last time we talked, the mouse was bad. Is there anything else happening over there?
Yeah. A lot that needed to get done that didn't.
Okay. All right. He seems very happy.
Cheerful as always. I'm surprised he's this grumpy considering he just got back from.
Well, it's not like oatmeal fell in his bag.
Yeah, maybe it did. What goes on in the life of Declan Krueger that we don't know?
I think he wanted more of a fuss over the glasses, but I didn't see them.
I mean, I saw them. He looked like he was about to join a Poker Stars tournament, but hey, the glasses look good, Deck. I'll give you that, buddy.
He's the Daniel Legranu of the show.
I wish they were exactly like the Kim Kardashian ones, where it was just basically straight reflective and you could see exactly what he was doing on the computer.
Love it.
Probably playing solitaire over there.
Nick says it's starting to look like Connor's not going to sign. 1 goal in the finals is not good. Vegas will have cap space next season. When Eichel's contract expires and the cap rises. Well, what we're talking about here is all of those things, but we're beginning the process by saying, will McDavid sign? And will he sign now or into the season? Like there's a possibility of a Trojan horse there. I'll tell you honestly, I don't think Connor McDavid is that guy. I don't think he's going to do that to the Edmonton Oilers. However, by the same token, he has a right to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this is my stepping off point. Maybe we can work something out. Maybe you sign me to a 8-year deal or 7-year deal and we make a trade. Something. I don't know. I mean, I do know, and my source is no longer with us, but I can tell you without any hesitation that Mark Messier was given carte blanche. When you want to go, you tell us where you want to go and we'll send you there. And that's why he became a New York Ranger. So those things do happen. But I don't even know if he wants to go. He said just last week, I want to win. I want to be a part of the Edmonton Oilers. The question appears to be, does he believe in the team? Now, the ultimate disaster thing is that he doesn't, and then he leaves, and then nobody believes in the Oilers. I don't think that's going to happen. They still have Leon Draisaitl. They still have Evan Bouchard. And let's review, they've been in the Stanley Cup 2 years in a row. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, I think his best chance to win the Stanley Cup in 2026 is with the Edmonton Oilers. And there's every chance it'll be like that in 2027 as well.
Yeah, unless you can miraculously somehow sign with the Florida Panthers, who have no cap space.
Right.
Who have negative cap space, actually.
And they just signed Brad Marchand, who I love, but that was not a good deal.
Yeah, so for all the talk about, some people are starting to get worried, like Nick is starting to get worried here on the text line. I'm so not worried, like at all. if I know one thing about Connor McDavid, it's usually take him at his word. And his word is, my intention is to win in Edmonton.
Yeah.
And that means most likely he is going to agree to a deal sometime in the next, whether it's month, whether it's 2 months, whatever. Just, I would point to Leon Draisaitl signed at this time last season on an 8-year extension. And were we all worried it comes September when Leon Draisaitl didn't have an extension? No, we all thought he's going to realize, he's going to wake up, he's going to smell the roses, and he's going to look at himself in the mirror and go, my best chance is still to win here.
Brian Fan says, get a goalie. You really think there's no chance at a goalie? Pay more. This is stupid. Well, okay, but who are you going to get? Let's take Jeremy Swayman. Let's agree that you and I believe he's the best guy out there, $8.5 million, I believe. The Oilers have so many new movement clauses. They can't trade Darnell Nurse. They can't trade Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. They can't trade Zach. Go look at Puckpedia. It's like there are so few options for this team to make a trade of big dollars for a goaltender. And then you could go, if the Calgary Flames would just play nice and trade their young goalie who doesn't make any money to the Oilers, everything would be hunky-dory. But Greg Conroy would never do that. That would be like basically professional extinction for his general managerial career if he did it. So the Oilers are in a spot of bother. They need an Andy Moog. They need some kind of miracle. And the one thing about Stan Bowman is that he's been pretty good, I think, at procuring talent. Now, goaltending is a little different gig because if you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, either they have two goalies that are okay. I mean, would you like Cam Talbot? You might be able to get Cam Talbot, but he's an older player. He's been tried here. And then there are other teams who are, trying to bring in players who are young, like Jesper Wallstedt and others that are young, but not necessarily proven. So you want to trade Stuart Skinner for one of those guys? Because you're getting a guy who has not proven that he can play at that level. Remember, Stuart Skinner 2 years in a row got the Oilers into the finals by playing brilliantly against the Dallas Stars. It's not an easy fix. I know you're upset and I know you're frustrated, but this is a little bit of a damned if you do, damned if you don't. If Bowman trades for the wrong guy and it turns south and sideways, then he is absolutely to blame. And if he stays the course and it doesn't work out, then it's all his fault. Pick a lane. I don't see one. Honest to God, I don't think you turn a wheel on a transaction for a goaltender that doesn't bring you a clearly superior option than what they have now. That's just good business. All right. I'm sorry, what time is it? 12:53?
Yeah.
I got new glasses and I can't see a damn thing.
Did you get these just for the YouTube?
I thought they looked good. And now I'm like, what the hell?
You pulled your inner Jason Gregor, hey? Getting the colored frames. I mean, hey, they look good.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it.
They're looking sharp.
And I can see pretty much everything, but the little clock on my computer is too damn small.
It's a little blurry?
A little bit, yeah. And you are Donovan, right? I want to make sure of that.
Am I?
Tiger says, don't turn a wheel. Old school talk. Okay. So let's turn a wheel. Who do you want? Who are you going to get? Name the guy. Because if there was a route to an improvement, Stan Bowman would have made the deal. He talked about goaltending, right? Before the summer was starting. And he said, we're going to, that's an area I didn't think we'd have to address, but looks like we have to. And then nothing, crickets, because there's no obvious option out there.
If Stuart Skinner stinks come the trade deadline, they might do something. But will they be able to get the clear and obvious upgrade that is a lot better than Stuart Skinner? I don't think so.
Is there a goalie's retired in the last year or two that they could bring in aside from Marc-Andre Fleury? I mean, I love the idea of that, but I just don't know who it is.
No, there really isn't. Unless you are trading for Carey Price and hoping and praying and getting Montreal to eat half of that cap space, which spoiler alert, he's staying retired. Well, he's not retired, but LTIR'd. Like, unless you get Carey Price to magically be fully healthy and half his cap eaten by Montreal, and then you still wouldn't be able to trade for him because you have nobody that you can trade because they'll have no move clauses. That's the only way.
Well, you know what? Mike Smith has to be healthy by now. Maybe bring him back.
How old is Mike Smith now? Is he 44?
I don't know. What about Koskinen? Maybe his glove hand improved.
Unlikely, Al. Unlikely. He was
Okay.
getting lit up over there.
But he moved to a nice town. I do know that whenever he signed in Europe, in Switzerland, it's a really nice area. Okay, on the way in hour number 2, we're going to talk more Oilers hockey. We're going to have Hi, My Name Is, and we hope you can stay tuned. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, and it's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Papa John's. It is Terrific Tuesday. Get 40% off any regular price pizza. Use the code word 40Tuesday at the start of each pizza order at papajohns.ca or on the Papa John's app. Gabe Davis has re-signed with the Buffalo Bills. He will initially join the team's practice roster as he recuperates from a torn meniscus. The Toronto Maple Leafs have signed goaltender Dennis Hildeby to a 3-year contract extension. The deal is a 2-way contract for the 25 and 26-27 seasons, followed by a 1-way contract in 27-28, carrying an AAV of $841,000. The Montreal Canadiens are expected to be looking into trading goaltender Carey Price's contract, according to TSN hockey insider Chris Johnston. Price is in the final year of his 8-year, $84 million contract, which holds a cap hit of $10.5 million. However, the 37-year-old will only be owed $2 million in salary in 25-26 after the Canadiens paid his $5.5 million signing bonus on September 1st. Ottawa Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice did not rule out the possibility of starting quarterback Drew Brown, making his return from a knee injury in Week 14 against the BC Lions. And in the MLB, the Toronto Blue Jays will be in action at 4:40 in Cincinnati, taking on the Reds. Jose Barrios on the bump for that one. In the U.S. Open, Carlos Alcaraz currently up 2-0 in his quarterfinal match. At 6:10 today, we will see Novak Djokovic and Taylor Fritz. And in the women's side, it was Jessica Pegula getting by in her first-round matchup. Ariana Sabalenka will play today at 5. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton.
Salto. Straight ahead inside the 10. Keeping his balance. Getting help from his friends. Finding his way to the goal line.
What a strong run by the Oklahoma transfer, right through a tackle attempt by Bray Hubbard, Joe. I think I counted 5 or 6 Alabama defenders.
Weeks, they've really turned it on. Next coming against Daniels, though, and he's going to get wrapped up by Parsons again. Micah Parsons had a pair of sacks in the first meeting, and he's already out of the gate. Hot off the blocks with a pair to shut down the Washington drive.
Well, remember,
Dramatic 2-point drop. He can score 2 for the Runners, and he takes it all the way through. They denied the 2. They'll score the 2. Campbell gets to the end zone, and we got a 4-point game. The Riders lead with 30 seconds to go.
Down, hour number 2 on Sports 1440 and YouTube. So check it out. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup of 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. Now, this hour, we may have Jason Gregor coming up at 1:20. At 1:40, we know we have Hi, My Name Is, which is a wild and crazy time. Declan, do we have a Hi, My Name Is target yet?
I have someone in mind, yeah.
We do. Do we know the sport and whether or not it's a current player?
I think I'm going to go retired football player.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bill Belichick. No. No response.
No.
Retired football player could be, well, it could be anybody.
I think last time it was Isaac Bruce.
Oh, that's a great name.
Was our last retired football player? If I'm not mistaken.
How do you remember that stuff? God, I can't remember what I had for breakfast.
Al, if there's one thing to know about me, I'm shockingly good with sports names, and I'm terrible with everyone else's names.
Really?
Yes.
Hmm.
Like I can remember a lot of names of a lot of different athletes or actors, like famous people.
Yes.
But when it comes to certain people in the office, whoop.
Do you know the name of everybody in this room?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know all the other people that you work with at Sports 1440?
Yeah. But if you were to ask me the names of,
If I brought my friend Susan in, would you recognize her?
No.
Okay.
If you were to ask me the names of a shocking amount of Stingray employees, I wouldn't know them.
Right. Well, and they know who you are. So it must make you feel foolish.
It does. And it's too late to ask, what's your name again? Oops.
I've been working here for 3 years. No. This, by the way, I think, Declan, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the official beginning of the year number 3 of the Lowdown.
It is.
Here on the radio station. And they said it wouldn't last.
I think in 4 days it'll fit because we started on the 6th, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the 5th. So in 3 or 4 days here, we'll officially be ushering in year number 3.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, congratulations to the radio show that said they didn't need radio being back on the radio.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah, I think that's great. I have very talented people over there. Glad they got a gig in radio. What? What? That's not. I didn't mean anything. I wasn't being insincere. I'm sincere in that.
No, I know you're
No.
dead sincere in it, but it does kind of come off as this backhanded, like, well, you shot us down.
Well,
Let's
I'll tell you what. I
take it
don't
down
like
a
when
notch.
people diss radio. Radio is a brilliant medium.
Of course it is.
No.
And hey, you know what? If they chose not to take radio seriously and then come back to radio, well,
Right? Oliver Steve says, happy anniversary. Been listening since day one. Love the show. Keep it up. There you go. That's okay. We have one, Actually, we actually have very, very loyal fans. There's no doubt about it. Maybe there's a goal. Maybe there is no goalie, but how about a free agency tryout? Everybody knows we need a goalie from Brian Fan. Okay, but Brian Fan, here's the thing. And I'm being sincere. I'm not picking on you, but you texted me twice, so I'm going to go back to this. Name the player. We've talked about Reimer, but does anybody truly believe that James Reimer is clearly an upgrade on Calvin Pickard, let alone Stuart Skinner? Look, I'll admit the Oilers have themselves they signed Jack Campbell. He wasn't the guy. They're still buying out the contract. Will be until Sam here is 30. Is Sam did he skip some grades? How old is he? 20. Jeez.
Woof.
20. He's not even legal everywhere.
No, he's not.
No.
I mean, he's still got the old braces on.
I can't believe the hair. I didn't get to the braces. He has more hair than he has body.
He does.
Yeah.
When I first saw him, I thought, is this take your kid to work day? Sorry, Sam.
Well, we're hammering Sam now. Pillman says, I love all the shows. Well, thank you, Pillman. We appreciate that. Samsonov is worth a tryout from Big John. Do we like Samsonov enough to try him out?
No. No, I've seen enough Ilya Samsonov.
I always feel like he's just above Georgiev.
Yeah, he's just above.
Yeah.
Georgiev is, if you haven't looked at Georgiev's numbers from last year, I would highly encourage you, before you say, anybody's better than Stuart Skinner, go look at Alex Georgiev. He was statistically the second worst goalie in the NHL last season.
No.
And that's not even a lie. He was the second worst goalie in the league. And Samsonov is basically Stuart Skinner, but just slightly worse.
I think Stan Bowman's made it best. He hired this, not Peter Asher, but Asher. Peter Asher was in Peter and Gordon, A World Without Love. But is the coach named Asher, the goalie coach that they hired?
Aubrey.
Well, that's close. The new goalie coach, Aubrey, is a goalie whisperer, apparently. So I think Bowman's saying, I feel like Aubrey can help me more than me replacing Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard. And I don't know that he's wrong. I don't know he's wrong enough to criticize him for it.
Sometimes the change of voice, I mean, it's happened before, right?
Yeah.
The change of voice can have a massive impact. I mean, let's look back to a guy like Jacob Markstrom.
Yeah.
When he was drafted, he looked like he was going to be a bust. And then he gets dealt to Vancouver. And then the change of voice is totally different. It just sets off a wonderful career for Jacob Markstrom. I mean, there's countless names, whether it's goalies, whether it's skaters. Lots of guys do well with the change of voice. Do I think it's going to make that big of a difference for Stuart Skinner? I don't, because I don't believe he's super, super, super talented. But we'll see.
Donovan, just a test. Do you know the name of Jim Brown, Gordoil?
Yes. You're not going to catch me with the Tyler Yaremchuk situation.
It became so famous, nobody will be caught by that anymore, which is too bad.
Oh no, it's little Benny is here.
Oh my God!
Let's make him a star.
Now
Connor.
there's somebody who needs a camera.
That
This would improve our viewings by quite a bit. And going barefoot though, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, barefoot is bold. But let's.
Hello, young man.
We could make him a star right now.
I think we're going to make him cry. He's a little overwhelmed.
He looks a little overwhelmed.
Kids
Too many
get, like,
people.
they get that. When you're that age or my age, you can get overwhelmed and start to cry. So,
yeah, I mean, you're both in your diaper stages. So,
I'm not there yet. Damn it. Bobby says, "Afternoon, gentlemen. Don't we have Johnson from Sweden who will be competing for a goaltender spot in training camp?" Bobby, he will be, but I mean, he's ticketed for Bakersfield. I'd love, like, he had a great year in the Allsvenskan, which is a really good league, and I do believe I have him as the number 3 prospect in the Ottawa system, and I think it was Pronman who had him as number 3 as well. Pronman way more credible in that stuff than I am, but here's the deal: he's not proven, and a guy like Chris Knobloch is going to want to have more proven goaltending. I mean, maybe if he shoots lights out, but you can't count on that. Gordoil says, I think James Reimer is a upgrade on the backup position, although with Pickard going with 3 is better than the fact there are no other options. Well, I don't think you're going to go with 3. You got to make a call, right?
And I'll say it again. Why are people so happy to upgrade on Cal Pickard? Seriously.
Well, he's a good goalie, right? Like, that was give Ken Holland credit. That was a really good signing. He makes 1.1 or something.
Cal Pickard,
for $1 million.
For those of you who are so eager to upgrade on Cal Pickard, like, I don't get it. What is that going to upgrade your Stanley Cup chances by a significant enough margin that you're going to suddenly win the cup? Is changing out Cal Pickard? Is that what's going to win you a Stanley Cup? No.
Brian Fan comes back again. You're saying we can't spend $8 million on a goalie? Yes. Do you understand how the cap works? The Oilers, how much money do they have toward the cap right now?
I think they have 400,000.
Right. And Stuart Skinner is $2.6 million. Everybody else has a no movement clause.
Sorry, 226,000.
Okay. 226 million, 226,000 plus 2.6 million for Skinner. That's less than 3 million, right? And there's no movement clauses. Here, I'll do it. I'll do it for you. I'm going to list off. It'll take me an hour, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to list off the no movement clauses that the Edmonton Oilers have currently signed, mostly Ken Holland, who's doing the same in Los Angeles now. Okay, here we go. We have, where are the no movement clauses buttons? Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, Zach Hyman, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Trent Frederick, Adam Henrique, Evan Bouchard, Darnell Nurse. Ekholm does not have one, right?
No, because he came over with Nashville because he didn't have.
And Bouchard doesn't have one for 2 more years, but that's only because of his age. So you've got, let's do it again. Let's count them. Nurse, Henrique.
Yeah.
Partial one for Janmark, I think.
Yeah, partial for Janmark. Partial
Frederick, Nuge, Hyman, McDavid, Draisaitl. That's like 7 or 8
yeah,
guys.
and then Mangiapane has a no trade.
Right. So
not a full no move, but no trade.
Right. And so and there were rumors, although there was a report of rumors, and then Jason Gregor shot it down, I believe, Gregor. So maybe they didn't ask Henrique and Nurse for if they would waive to trade. But I think they tried all summer. There wasn't a target, you know? Like, who was it that was in St. Louis and there was an offer sheet possibility? Hofer?
Yes, Joe Hofer.
To me, that's the last guy. That was like the last chance Texaco. And it didn't work out. These are the same conversations we had about goaltending like in June. Everybody took the summer off and we're back.
And we're back because everybody's so desperate for a new face and it's realistically, there was no clear upgrade.
He's still not giving a name. This is Big G.
If you truly are so set on a goaltending upgrade, a clear upgrade, give us the name and we'll talk about him.
Yeah.
But I almost guarantee you there is no physical way that the Oilers could make a move for him because the guys who all make money have no move clauses.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're getting rid of Kasperi Kapanen's $1.3 million, you could trade Vasily Podkolzin, you could trade Jake Walman, you could trade Brett Kulak. But, I mean, if you're trading for, let's say it's Ilya Sorokin, you're going to have to move Jake Walman, Brett Kulak, Ty Emberson, Kasperi Kapanen, David Tomasek, and Vasily Podkolzin to make that work.
And then you'll have like 11 guys.
Exactly. So it's not happening.
No, it's the die is cast for this year. Now, next year, stuff does start to kind of blow off, and you can, you'll be a year away from Nurse's no movement clause being easing at least, right? So maybe you can go to Nurse. But the idea that Bowman is sitting on his hands and refusing to make a trade for a goaltender, A, he's not out there, B, they don't have the coin.
They can do it next summer because Stuart Skinner's contract is up. So if they decide we want to go in a different direction, they can get whatever goalie is available next summer and they can, reshape their goaltending however they want. But for this year, the way that their salary cap is constructed, they would need to trade off 3 defensemen, 1 goaltender, and 3 forwards to acquire an $8 million goalie. And are they going to do that? Hell no, they're not.
Partridge in a pear tree. Somebody's asking about when Nuge's contract eases in terms of the no movement. He is a UFA in the summer of 2029, and that's when it eases. Hyman is a little less. It eases. The modified for Hyman begins next summer, so you could move Hyman next summer. Not that you'd want to. And then Mangiapane eases a little bit. Janmark's that Janmark contract. I mean, it's comedy, but I mean, he's a player. Darnell Nurse will start to ease in the summer of 2027. But that's 2 years away. We've done the math. There's no way out. You need, like, in all honesty, if you want to know the solution, you're not going to like it. But if you want to know the solution to the Edmonton Oilers problems, they won't get this player, but they have to go absolutely out and get whoever the next Dustin Wolf is. And he'll be making $850,000 somewhere in the minors. Identify that guy. No team will do that. No NHL team will do that. This isn't like baseball where you can find a guy like Willie McGee playing in the outfield in the Yankee system and they don't know who he is. This is hockey where scouts are on top of everything. And there's nobody out there. Wolf's the last. Name another guy making $850,000 who does what Dustin Wolf does. Nobody. And of all the damn teams for him to be on, he's never coming here.
It could be worse. It could be the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah, well,
who are paying, quick math, $14 million for goaltending,
which is so ludicrous because I don't even think they're that good.
I love Thatcher Demko. The injuries are a massive concern. And I mean, to pay Kevin Lankin, and I believe it's $4.5 million. Let me double check, but it's something like, it's like $14 million between their 2 goaltenders, which is banana land. This is the last year of Demko's $5 million. So this year it's only $9.5 million.
Yeah.
But after this year, it goes up to $13 million between the two of them. And by the way, giving Kevin Lankinen a no move clause, what are we doing?
Well, right. I mean, that you're exactly right. This comes in. I want to clarify here. Jay says, so you're saying Nurse's contract eases next year, but you can't move him at the deadline? No. Darnell Nurse's contract, according to Puckpedia, starts to ease in the summer of 2027. So that's 25, 26, and 26, 27. 2 more years, and then that summer, it begins to ease. So that's 2 more trade deadlines. And I like, if I'm Darnell Nurse, I am not giving up an opportunity to win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton with Connor McDavid. That's Fred Shiro's quote: "Win today, we walk together forever." That's the dream hockey players have. I don't know why Darnell Nurse has to give that up. He signed the contract in good faith, and so did Ken Holland.
They can go and ask him probably next summer and say, we're trading you next year.
Mm-hmm.
If
I'd say fill your hat.
And if Darnell Nurse would have every right to say, no, you can move me the summer after if you're that desperate to move me. No. Because make no mistake, they're going to try their hardest to move him in 2 years. But we'll see what happens.
The Edmonton Elks have signed offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell back with the green and gold. Jason Gregor says he's legit good. I wouldn't be surprised if he's great. This will be a huge boost to a struggling O-line. Well, get him in here before the weekend. I think that'll be the key. All right, it's 1:17. We'll take a break. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and on YouTube. One. This is the Lowdown on Sports 4 and on YouTube. This is our first day on YouTube. We're here forever. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Employee pricing continues on the entire lineup of 2025 Sierra trucks. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. We're joined now by our friend Jason Gregor. How was your weekend and your weeks away, Mr. Gregor?
Sorry for not joining you on video, Al. Fail on my part. I forgot about that. Running around trying to drink out of a water hose, when you go away for 2 weekends, 2 weeks, and then trying to catch up on everything. So run a little bit late, but you know what? Things were great. Yeah, we had a great time. I highly recommend anybody who wants to go to Niagara Falls. It was fantastic. Loved it. Hockey Hall of Fame. My 11-year-old thought it was amazing. And, the Jays games were very entertaining.
You tweeted out not long ago, looks like the Elks, and they probably need it with Serezna's injury. They've got an old lineman coming in.
Well, Carter O'Donnell's legit good. Like this, he is. I won't be surprised if this guy becomes a great offensive lineman in the CFL. He is. You know what? I remember talking to Chris Morris about him a few years ago, and Chris felt, and he coached him, and he felt, he goes, "I never seen a big guy move like him." So, he's been in the NFL. Had a little bit of injury issues, and that can knock guys out quick, right? Unfortunately, where you just don't get a second opportunity. But now he comes here, and he'll be a massive addition, not just physical, not just size-wise, but their O-line's struggling. Anybody who watches it sees it. So I think that'll be a huge boost for that team, no question.
The game was a disappointment in Calgary. They obviously have a chance to make up for it this weekend, this Saturday in Edmonton at Commonwealth. What were your thoughts on the Elks game and what they did and did not do well?
Well, there's a few things, especially in the first half. There's no way they should have been trailing as much as they were. They were right in that game. There's a few things. If you go through it, look at when it's 2nd and 3, and you kind of have a delayed draw call, and they get stuffed in the backfield. Like that killed them. Like you're in the red zone, you move very well. Play action there. I didn't like that play call. So that's one, because it's forcing them to settle for a field goal. There's no guarantee, even if they got a first down, they would have scored a touchdown. But I didn't like that play. The DeBlanco offside obviously wasn't ideal, right? You look at the grab-a-back. Yeah, it sucks. It's unfortunate, but those plays out, you're out of the shotgun and you're running across, and the snap hits you, and the Elks have been moving the ball. So there's another turnover right in the offensive zone. So I didn't like that. The other thing I noticed, did you see the stamps with 14 seconds left? I hate when the Elks, who've done it lots of time, or other teams, there's 14 seconds left in the CFL, and you take a knee. Why? Throw it, because guess what happens? Even if you don't complete the pass, there's a chance of a pass interference, and that's what happened. And then Calgary gets another 7 points. So you look at the difference there. Blanchard missed the field goal. They end up turning around. They don't take a knee. They throw it, and that just you go into the half, and you could tell Killen when he did his interview coming out of the half. He was pissed, and rightfully so, because I thought the Elks shot themselves in the foot. Their defense played very well. Calgary's offense barely did anything. They barely had the ball in the third quarter. So there was lots to like about the defense in that game, but. Cody Fajardo, that's the first game where I didn't really like his play. He just kept throwing high all day long over receivers.
They also, a couple of times, they went deep twice in a row, which I like. I remember Ralph Brock, so I know it happens in the CFL, but it's a low percentage play when you're doing that, and I felt like maybe the play calling wasn't, maybe it was unusual, and maybe that's good, but I thought they could have done a little better job there.
Well, I actually like the fact that they're going deep, but here's the problem now. The 3 best receivers are out, right? Not having Stephen Dunbar, I think it's overlooked. They barely talked about it. That's a huge blow. He's their best receiver. No question. He's the best route runner. He creates a lot of open space. Not having him hurts. And then you throw in Mathis, right? He's been out now for how many weeks? He's a big target. You can do a jump ball where you don't have to necessarily be as accurate. Right, like if you look at that play that Smith ran down the field and he's taken Mathis' spot, Mathis' height, he probably gets that pass because he's 6 inches taller. So I think they missed him, and then we'll see about Gittins Jr., but he obviously didn't finish the game, and so hopefully he's ready. But if he's out, that's a massive blow. Like that's basically 3 of your top 4 receivers to start the season might not be in the game. But even just having 2 of them out last game and then getting hurt, I think hurts them. But actually, I don't mind them taking a few deep shots, because you can't just nickel and dime your way down the field all the time in the CFL. You can't do it. A, it's boring, and it's just too hard.
Big game Saturday, though, right? They've got it. I think they've made really impressive strides here after the start of the season, and these last few weeks have been really good. And the defense, as you said, they played well this weekend, but they've really got to show up in a big way because I think they'll have a good crowd on Saturday. Fair?
Oh, it's going to be the best crowd of the year by far. I've heard ticket sales are really good. I think we'll be close to 30,000 fans on Saturday. And you know what? After a tough summer, we're getting a great late summer. The weather looks fantastic for Saturday. Plus, they have their new brunch that they're unveiling this year, Al. I know you and I are going to that on Saturday, and I think that's a great tradition that they're going to start in the organization to have that. Anybody who doesn't know it, just go to the Elks webpage and you'll see it under community links. And you can get into the brunch. It's kind of like a mini Spirit of Edmonton Day where they're going to have a brunch and music and lots of fun. And they even have shuttles to take you from the Expo Center to the game if you want to partake in the festivities.
Cool. There you go. I have not read all of your 10 Edmonton Oilers storylines I'll be watching this season at Oilers Nation. I did peruse a few of them. So my initial question is about Connor McDavid's contract. Comments this week or last week, and then some follow-up from John Shannon and Ryan Rishaug and Mark Spector about it. And it sort of is a story that we expect to talk about as long as the contract isn't signed. What's your feeling on this issue? And I think most of us believe McDavid will sign.
Yeah, I really haven't, changed my opinion on it for a long time. I've said for over 16 months, I've fully expected McDavid to sign I thought once Draisaitl signed his extension, it was a no-brainer. But I always said, I wasn't sure McDavid would be as long. And now, just from a Connor McDavid standpoint, it'd be foolish for him to sign an 8-year deal. Right, because just look at how much the cap's going to go up, right? And you look at if you go off a percentage of cap, right? If he signs an 8-year deal and the way the cap's rolling up, who knows what it's going to be in 8 years? I have no idea, right? It's technically 9 by the time that last year of his 8-year deal kicks in. So a shorter term deal makes sense on both sides for a lot of different reasons. And I've always thought that September would be when he'd sign, and I believe that's when he'll sign. Now there is a little bit of motivation, not much, but a little bit for him to sign before the 16th of September. If you saw that story that came out on Puckpedia today about, some of the new CBA rules are actually going to begin. This year will be a salary cap in the playoffs, which is great. I didn't think they should extend that another year, so I like that. And there's a few other things, how you can sign all that stuff. I think now, I don't know if he ever would have done it anyway. I don't really think that the deferred money really works, significant amount. I know Carolina's done 2 of them, but you crunch the math on it, Alan. It's such a minimal savings. Why would you do it? Unless McDavid really wants to defer that much, but why would he? Right? You think about it. He's getting all his money basically every year. So if his contract is $16 million in actual cash or whatever it was the last year, he was getting 15 of it on July 1st, right? You put that just in an interest account, everybody, you're getting 7%. Do the math, right? So he's making way more than that. And he's getting paid in American funds, living in Canada full time. So another thing that you never hear anybody talk about that when they always want to talk about the state tax. They never mention the fact that Canadians who reside in Canada full time and who get paid in Canadian dollars, that's a big advantage.
Yeah. No
question. Get paid in American funds. So I still believe that McDavid's going to sign. When I'm not going to, I'll say this, there's some guys who make educated guesses, I think, that are good. And then sadly, there's the other end of the spectrum. And I've seen some bold-faced lies when it comes about the McDavid stuff. So, which is unfortunate, but I still believe a contract will be done now. I think, I want to emphasize, that it's going to be a 4-year deal. Could be shorter. I guess there's a chance it could be longer. I'd be a little bit surprised at this point, but that's kind of where I see it. And I understand why Oilers Nation and Oiler fans are concerned about it. I get it. And until they have a contract signed, they'll probably be concerned. But I would be flabbergasted if Connor McDavid is not an Edmonton Oiler next season.
I recommend people read the article. It's very interesting. But the other one that I wanted to talk to you about a little bit was your take on the goaltending tandem. You say, and I quote, "I'd be surprised if both Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard are in Edmonton after the trade deadline." That speaks to, I think, the lack of options right now. But as we ease into the season and teams fall out of the race, they would be more amenable probably to trade their starting goaltender. Is that your take?
Well, I think it's one or the other. I think you just look at, I think sometimes you forget, and it's like, oh, Stuart Skinner's the only reason. Stuart Skinner's not the only reason they lost to Florida Panthers. Like, make no mistake about it. I want to make that abundantly clear. Stuart Skinner, could he have made a few more big saves? 100%. Could the Oilers scored a few more goals? 100%. Could guys have made better reads? Yes. Like, Stuart Skinner would like to improve on making a few more high danger saves. But in the playoffs, he had the best goal saved above expected, courtesy of Kevin Woodley, on mid and low range chances. So that wasn't the issue, right? It's not like he's giving up weak goals. He's not making the great saves, right? So how many goalies do we know for sure are going to make the great save, Al? Yeah. How many? Because if he was giving up the weak goal, I think that'd be a bigger issue, right? But he didn't do that in the playoffs. He had the best goal saved above expected on medium and low chances, according to Woodley and ClearSight Analytics. So, they do a lot of really good tracking. So, he doesn't make a lot of money. The Oilers, how they're built financially is their goalie doesn't make a ton of money. So if you want to go out there and get a Sorokin or someone else, great. But then you're also losing other players. It's not just, hey, I can get Sorokin. And, by the way, we're going to give up our worst big paid contract. That's not how it works. So I think they'll go through the season. They'll look, because you got to remember, in Knobloch's first year in Edmonton, go look at Stuart Skinner's numbers in his first year with Knobloch. 50 games, which is a pretty big sample size, Al. He was top 8 in either save percentage, goals against average, or goals saved above expected. Top 10 at 2.6 mil. As a young goalie who's still, most goalies have covered the league for a long time. Very few of them are reaching their prime at 24. Yeah. Right? Like the Carey Prices and Fleury's, like they're massive outliers. So I think the organization is going to be patient, but they're going to have their eyes open, I think, throughout the season to see if something happens. And what is interesting is now you could, and I was trying to think, Alan, maybe you could, I tried to look it up. I can't remember the last time a goalie had a PTO. I don't know if it's ever happened, but it is interesting to note that Ilya Samsonov is unrestricted right now. But Kevin Woodley said, of all the goalies who would be a bad fit for how the Oilers play, Samsonov would be it. So I don't think there'd be any interest there, just based off of what Woodley said on just matchups and fit. So, but you just look at it. I can see why the organization says, hey, we don't want to go with the exact same two goalies in the playoffs for a third year in a row. I can understand that, but I'm not sold that it's just, if they trade Stuart Skinner, everything wins. Just ask Winnipeg what that means if you just want to say it's just goaltending, because it's never just one thing.
All I found was John Gillies signed to a PTO last year in Toronto, but it is rare based on what I'm looking
but he's an AHL goalie. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Okay, listen, final one for you. You were in Toronto watching the Jays. Did you think about going down there and seeing if you could save a game? Because they need a closer, man.
Oh, well, definitely wouldn't be me, Al. But I did. We had Ken Reed had told me, where to sit for the first game, and so we sat right beside the bullpen of the visitors. And got it right on the row, went online, and tickets were actually pretty reasonable. And just watching them warm up in the bullpen when you're literally 3 feet away was unbelievable. And you realize just like how hard these guys are throwing. Like I still think hitting like a 92 mile an hour curve or a 98 mile an hour, 100 mile an hour fastball, it's got to be one of the hardest things to do in pro sports, man. Yeah. Like it's crazy to me when you see it up close. But it is, it's interesting how the wheels have kind of fallen off a few guys collectively on that team right now. And the good news is that it's happening in September and not October. So, you've got some time to maybe figure it out, but it's not like you can it's not like you have a closer sitting in the minors that you can just call up, right? Like, so you know what? Their bullpen has been, and I really like what Bassett said, because if Bassett could have got out of the 6th, then maybe he goes to the 7th, and you save guys. Right now, it's another inning, and their bullpen has been used a lot. So, is there a little bit of fatigue there? I've been following guys and reading stories, and they're looking at it, and a lot of them think fatigue is a little bit of a factor here. So, but blown saves have been an issue all year long. So, for a variety of guys, and obviously Hoffman's been their main guy there. So, we'll see. Alec, they have. You got to figure it out internally, right? Like, it's not like you can just go out and get someone else now. It's impossible. So you just got to hope that some guys will find a way to get their game. And, maybe you use Lauer, if there is a short or an well, obviously if a starter has a bad outing, you're going to Lauer right away. because you want to give him, he should be able to pitch you some extended innings, right? And outside of one struggle, his first time coming out of the bullpen here, he's been pretty good all year long. Like, he's been a model of consistency. So you hope that can continue for them.
What's coming up on the show today? Your first one in a while, sir.
I'm just going to try not to screw it up after 2 weeks, take the training wheels off and we get back at it. But we actually have a loaded show today. We'll have Cody Fajardo's going to join us, Struds, Dave McCarthy, Kevin Woodley right off the hop. So we'll talk about those free agent goaltenders. Are any of them good fit here in Edmonton or anywhere else? Also, we'll probably talk to Hart from Puckpedia in the 5 o'clock hour about all the new changes that will be implemented this year in the National Hockey League and what that means and, the contract implications. And is there a benefit for McDavid now to sign before the 16th of September?
Yeah.
That'll probably be the main one.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate it. Look forward to the show.
Al, have a great day.
There you go. Jason Gregor. He'll be live on the radio for the first time this month in about 20 minutes from now, maybe 25 minutes from now. Okay. On the way, Declanations, a daily feature. This is the one that can completely get out of hand and often does. Hi, my name is. Next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. Stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Center. TNA Wrestling makes its explosive debut at the Expo Center on Friday, September 26th and Saturday, September 27th for back-to-back nights. Buy your tickets online today. Learn more about what's happening at the Expo Center by visiting the calendar of events online at edmontonexpocenter.com today.
At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we believe that life shouldn't hurt. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't know that sometimes it really hurts. I mean, we've seen people at their worst moments in life, when they feel they have nowhere to turn, or at a time when they felt like their problem just wouldn't ever go away. We've also seen people who thought to themselves, it'll just go away on its own, or this is no big deal. I don't want to bother anyone about this. Don't know where to turn to, or think it's no big deal. Either way, we have the technology, techniques, and skills to help you get back to it, whatever your it may be. Life shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
$1 plus tax for a smooth, small premium roast coffee at McDonald's? That means rich, full-bodied flavor at a price that's just as satisfying. Must be McCafe. Enjoy a small McCafe premium roast coffee for just $1 plus tax at participating McDonald's in Canada. Prices exclude delivery.
How's your summer so far? Are you zipping around in your new truck from Wolf GMC Buick? If not, you should be. GMC employee pricing continues through August on our entire 2025 GMC Sierras, including the Sierra HD lineup. But just August. Who knows what September brings? Costco members save an additional $1,200 on our 2025 Buick lineup and all our new GMC Terrain. We're here for a good time, not forever. Buy the new reliable vehicle and treat yourself. Employee pricing, 0% financing at Wolf GMC Buick.
Farm, ranch, acreage, or lake lot. They're here to help at Bashaw Concrete Products. Family owned and operated for 60 years. They continue to provide the best products and service, period. Call now for your free quote on the highest quality ready mix and gravel, a new septic tank, or an outhouse pad and tank. Plus precast cattle water pads, garage sumps, and more. Call 780-372-3854 for prompt delivery. Bashaw Concrete Products. 780-372-3854. BashawConcrete.com.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
EMC Buick. Time for Declanations, brought to you by Elks Nation. 2 weekly podcasts with Eddie Steele and Declan Krueger, breaking down the green and gold, the most in-depth Double E football coverage available on YouTube and anywhere you listen to podcasts. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the first time since, well, we didn't make a big deal about his glasses, Declan Krueger joins us.
Okay, clue number 1. I played 15 years in the NFL.
Okay. Dean.
It's a good player.
Mm-hmm.
Man. You know, I'll guess Al's guy, Jason Kelsey.
Good guess. It is not Jason Kelsey.
Okay. I'll guess that's a long career. I'll guess Mike Quick.
Ooh, it is not Mike Quick. Clue number 2. Oh, actually, wait. Hold on a second. Give me a minute here. Oh, let's try that again. There we go. Okay, clue number 2. I played for 5 teams.
Oh, got around. So a long career. And it's obviously released
Brandon
a few
Douglas.
times.
Our own Brandon Douglas chiming in on the text line. Donovan's guesses are total cheeks. Sorry, on the YouTube.
Oh, so people on
Jason
YouTube.
Kelsey was a good guess.
Yeah, people on YouTube, if they send in the answer and you get it, then you're disqualified.
That is true, and I totally forgot about that. So
Yeah.
I'm off the YouTube.
Well, you
Whoops.
know.
Wait,
I'm the old
this is
guy.
this is what that deserves.
That is true.
And how many teams?
5.
God. Well, that could be an Eagles quarterback.
Mm,
Trent Dilfer.
It is not Trent Dilfer.
Nah.
I still haven't made a guess yet.
Oh, right.
It gets
Round.
a little. You can't do it after everyone.
You know what? It's a terrible guess, and I know he didn't play 15 years, but Jarvis Landry.
Oh wow! Well, obviously, you know. Okay, clue number 3. I was a 6-time Pro Bowler.
God, this is an interesting career. Lots of changes in terms of who he played for. Long career, great career. It's probably some lineman from Minnesota.
Well, the guess can't get worse than Jarvis Landry. He was all that was popping into mind, and I didn't want to continue to have dead air after dead air. And I don't know why he popped into my mind, but he did.
Maybe a kicker? Gero Yepremian.
No.
All right.
If he put a kicker as the hi my name is, I think the segment should be abolished.
Would you put it past him?
No, I
Yeah.
mean, listen, the guy gave us Colton Sissons one day. So
That was a good one. That was a good one.
I'm going to bring back that oatmeal take. Is that still available somewhere?
God. I'm so distracted. You know what? Just give us next clue.
Clue number 4. I was a member of the All-Decade team for the 2000s.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. 5 teams, 15-year career, all-decade teamer. It's not going to be a running back. Like, surely it can't be a running back.
No, not that long.
Based on a 15-year career.
Yeah. It's got to be a wideout or a quarterback, right? Old linemen don't last that long.
I think it probably has to be a quarter. Like, I'm guessing it's a quarterback, but I don't want to pinhole it.
Well, Dilfer, how many teams did he play for? Who was like Dilfer? Played for a lot of teams. Oh, what the hell? What's his name? Goofball.
Goofball?
The Green Bay Packer running quarterback.
Aaron Rodgers, but he hasn't played for 5
No,
teams.
but what's his dude? The guy before him. Favre.
Favre?
Yeah.
That's a possibility.
Brett Favre.
It is not Brett Favre, but good guess. And yes.
And I would like credit for how quickly I reached that conclusion alone.
Goofball. Just give us another clue. I don't want to take up so much dead air.
Clue number 5. I led the league in receiving touchdowns 3 times.
What weird Dallas Cowboys wide receiver kept moving around during the aughts?
You know what? Hi, my name is Julio Jones.
It's a good guess. Your name is not Julio Jones.
How many teams did he play for?
5. He was actually on the practice squad for a 6th. but he
Damn.
played for 5.
Currently on a practice squad for 6?
No.
Okay.
Last year of his career, he was on a practice squad for a 6th.
Man, I This is an interesting player. So he probably started in Cleveland where he was good. And then they sent him somewhere where he won a lot of accolades.
But 5 teams.
Yeah, that's the tough part.
So he would have been washed at the end and just gone ring chasing.
Oh,
presumably.
who was the guy who won the Super Bowl with the Ravens? And then they couldn't afford to sign him because they signed the quarterback. And he immediately went to maybe the Patriots. He was a wideout. He was, what the hell was his name?
Oh, I think I have my guess for next round.
You're not going to tell me the name?
Well, it's not the player that I'm thinking of.
All right. So I don't remember his name. Then I'll take the next guess.
All right. Wait, hold on. Clue number 6. I am top 10 all time in receiving yards.
I'm just gonna throw out Randy Moss.
It's a good guess, but your name is not Randy Moss.
Top 10 all time in receiving yards.
I thought I might have had it with Randy Moss.
Terrell Owens?
Oh. Your name was in fact Terrell Owens.
Okay. I appreciate winning. And it doesn't happen often, and I'm emotional. But what the hell was the name of the receiver that I couldn't remember the name of? Played with the Ravens, won with the Ravens, and then they couldn't afford him because they signed what's his doodle? The quarterback. You're going to get paid.
The only name I can think of is Torrey Smith, but Torrey Smith never went to the Patriots.
Okay, well maybe I'm wrong about the Patriots.
Oh, because all I thought of is going
Anquan Bolden?
Anquan Bolden, that's it. That's the name I couldn't get. I hate when I can think of stuff, but I can't remember the name of the guy. And it happens a lot.
All I thought of with going to the Patriots was Randy Moss. But that was obviously not from the Ravens.
No. Terrell Owens was an interesting player.
Hell of a player.
No. And easygoing. Had no ego.
No ego at all. Never made any questionable, funny decisions.
I do want my wide receiver to want the ball, though. That's okay, right? Like we're okay with that. Give me the ball. Send me the ball. Who was it that wanted the ball even after they won? I like that guy.
He never led the league in receiving yards. Doesn't that seem a little shocking?
But he did play at a good time for certain, for receivers, right?
Yeah, definitely. Like Randy Moss.
But did he ever play? How many full seasons did he play? Because I recall him sometimes not playing the full season. Maybe I'm wrong.
So in 15 years, he played the full season 6 times, but he played 14 games at least every single season except one.
Okay. All right. So he wasn't constantly hurt or anything like that.
No, the only season he was hurt was 05 in Philadelphia. He played 7 games that year.
Yeah.
Lots of Randy Moss guesses, by the way. Lots of Randy Moss guesses. Which...
And just so we know, people are just tuning in. Maybe they tuned out. Who was what was the name of the receiver who won? The correct guess was
Anquan. Oh, the correct guess was Terrell Owens.
Right.
Who you were thinking of was Anquan Bolden.
Right. But who actually guessed Terrell Owens?
You did.
Yes, that's right. I don't know why I'm making a big deal of it. I do it every 6 weeks, so it's not like it's constant.
And Randy Moss would have actually gotten almost all of the categories too on there. Hey,
yeah, he would have fit a lot of them. That's the best way to do it, is find a guy who kind of hits a couple clues. And then my last clue was he's known for his crazy touchdown celebrations. So even that, maybe could have gone Chad
Would have been
Johnson,
a lot, right? Yeah. Well, I still think the big story of the weekend was Belichick's ridiculousness.
Yeah, it's up there for sure.
Where do you go from here if you're the program, though?
He didn't go. It's not like he went to Bama. He went to North Carolina, man.
Yeah, but what? They still have, some respect for themselves, I'm sure.
If you're Bill
They're not
Belichick,
the best coach ever,
why on God's green earth did you choose to go there?
Well,
of all places,
he had ties to there because of his dad. But I don't know. Like, you just want to coach.
Like, but what is the goal? Like, you could have coached in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons.
It
you
is
had
weird.
You had
Like,
an offer from the Atlanta Falcons. You could have set the NFL's all-time winningest coach record. You could have, if you even played, let's say that maybe it would have taken 2 years to get that in Atlanta. Maybe it would have taken 1. Who knows? But you would have had a great foundation with a lot of quality players in, whether it was Drake London, Bijan Robinson, the list goes on.
There's an obvious answer to this.
He just thought he could do it.
He thought he wanted to be the big dog.
Even more obvious than that. His hot 24-year-old girlfriend told him to do it.
Oh my God. You know what? As sad as that is, that might be
It might be the answer. It might actually be the answer. And
I just want, just please, if we could have a small reduction of the number of older men doing stupid things because they're rich and famous. If we could just cut it down from 1,000 a month to like 400, it would be nice.
yeah, I agree with that. And I think, well, if you're Bill Belichick, this is the quickest way to tarnish your reputation.
That was my original point. At what point does the NFL go, we got to get him out of there, Sam? He's making us look foolish. I mean, Vince Lombardi didn't do this.
I don't think the NFL is going to take it that way because, I mean, he's not tarnishing the NFL's reputation.
I guess so.
He's just tarnishing his own reputation. And listen, we'll see how long this goes on for.
But Declan made a really good point at the beginning of the show. And I do think there is something to the idea that the more wild Bill gets, the more people think, well, you know, he had Brady and that's when he was good.
I think that's exactly where this goes. And then maybe that even strengthens Tom Brady's legacy even more.
Yeah.
Which is almost impossible. But
I used to have a take. This was before Brady had won his 6th and certainly his 7th with Tampa Bay. I used to have a take that it was Belichick over Brady. I have never walked back a take more than that, especially now.
It was clearly Brady.
It was, was it ever? And we're seeing it.
How many NFL teams, and name the teams, beat Belichick and Brady when they were together in New England?
The Tennessee Titans did do it.
The
That is
Giants?
correct. The Giants did it.
What about in the Super Bowl?
Well,
nothing's springing to mind.
Say that
I don't
name.
know.
Say
You
that
guys think
name.
of it? You guys
Say
think of
it.
a team?
Say it.
Uh-oh. What's the music? We got to go.
You are going to deprive me of you saying the Philadelphia Eagles, aren't you?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, the Giants did it
Wow.
twice. Eagles
Yeah,
only
they
did it
And
twice
one of the
as well.
greatest catches of all time in that Giants game.
You don't need to hear more Eagles praise with what we did last week, laughing at Jerry Jones.
That was good. I'm still having a good time.
They
All
lost
right.
Luka and Micah in the same year, both age
6
26.
months apart.
That'd be like if we lost Connor McDavid and Lowetide.
Oh.
Two
All right.
staples of Edmonton.
And with that, we meander out of our radio show. Thank you for tuning in. Jason Gregor on the way next. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by PlayAlberta.ca. Play Alberta is an all-new app. Download it and get boosted odds on all the big games. Plus, play casino games, grab lottery tickets, and try some quick and easy instant games all on your phone. PlayAlberta.ca. Another Golden Bear is back wearing green and gold. The Edmonton Elks have agreed to terms with national offensive lineman Carter O'Donnell. The club announced today he joins the Double E after having spent the previous 5 years in the NFL, spending time with the Colts and the Cardinals. Gabe Davis is signed with the Buffalo Bills. He will initially join the team's practice roster as he recuperates from a torn meniscus. Maple Leafs have signed goaltender Dennis Hildeby with a 3-year contract extension. The deal is a 2-way contract for 25-26 and 26-27, followed by a 1-way contract in 27-28, carrying an AAV of $841,000. The Montreal Canadiens are expected to be looking into trading goaltender Carey Price's contract, according to TSN hockey insider Chris Johnston. He is in the final year of his 8-year, $84 million contract, which holds a cap hit of $10.5 million. However, the 37-year-old will only be owed $2 million in salary in the 25-26 season after the Canadiens paid his $5.5 million signing bonus on September 1st. And Ottawa Red Blacks head coach Bob Dice did not rule out the possibility of starting quarterback Drew Brown making his return from a knee injury in Week 14 against BC. That's going to do it for us here on The Lowdown. Up next is the Jason Gregor Show. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in